Hello everyone, welcome to the class of Health and Physical Education, Unit 8, Biomechanics and Sports. And today's topic we are having, that is types of movements. We are going to learn the types of movements of the joints. Actually, there are the various types of movements in joints, which may be divided into four major kinds, that is gliding movement, angular movement, circumduction movement, and rotation movement. Let's start with the first one, that is gliding movement. The gliding means to move easily. The word glide means to move easily. So here gliding movement means the simplest kind of motion that takes place in the joints, where the bone surface glides or slips over the another similar surface. So here the bone used to slip on the another similar surface. So that occurs at which place? That occurs at the carpus and tarsus joints, as well as the articular process of the vertebrae. So here you can find out that where does this gliding movement used to take place, or it occurs mostly in the carpals, in our wrist, in our hand, as well as the tarsal muscles in our legs, in our feet. So and as also as well as in the articular process of the vertebrae. So there you can find out the gliding movements. So you can see in the picture on the side, see the wrist, how it used to move from the wrist, where the wrist is you can find out the hand is stable, in a stable position, and they used to move the wrist on the hands on both the side, on left and right side. So here there is a gliding movement is being possible with the help of this. So this is an example being given for the gliding movement. The next we are having, that is angular movement. The word angular means angles. So angular movement occurs only between the long bones, that is in the hands as well as in legs. So angle between the two bones is increased, either it increase, the angle between both the bones will increase or it will decrease. So angular movement, like there are the names are given, you need to remind these names that are known as in flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, are met with more movable joints as in hips and the shoulder. Here you can find out that these movements, these all movements are being possible, where you can find out that as we are having in our shoulder and hip, we are having types of joints, like we are having a ball and socket joint. So here it is totally flexible, you can give the movement in all over sides. So that's why all these movements like flexion, extension, abduction and adduction are being seen with the help of these types of joints. So here we are having, the first one is known as in flexion. What does the flexion means? Now in a simple sense, that whenever any of the part of the body, when it moves away from the body, I am talking about the anterior part, that is the front part of the body, when it moves further or it moves backward to the posterior part, that is front and back, so that movement is being considered flexion. So here in a meaning it has been given that bending the movements of the joints, here the movements of the joint that decreases the angle between the both the joints. Here what happens, that the angle between both the joints used to decrease. For example, bending the elbow. For example, if you are having both the hands straight, and if you used to bend your arm from the elbow, so here what happens, from the joint, from the elbow, you can find out the angle used to decrease. So it has been considered flexion. Again you used to come back to the normal position, that becomes an extension. So here the example are being given as an bending of elbows or clenching of the hands into fist are the examples of flexion. So here you can see in the picture, the example of flexion is given as the angle between the joints used to decrease in the hands as well as in the legs. You can see in the thigh muscle, the joints of the feet, and the angle between the joint as well as the we are having hamstring muscles. The difference between these two, the angles is reduced, and as you used to put the leg down, again the angle used to increase. So here it is been considered flexion. Then we are having next movement, that is angular movement, that is extension. So what is an extension? Extension means straightening part at the joints so that the angle between them increases. Here what happened? Angle increase. Again coming back to the normal position. Here the angle increases. It has been considered as an, for example, standing up, knees are extended. When you used to sit down, the angle between your knee is less, so that is being considered flexion. When you used to stand up, you can find out there is a straightening part of at the joints, so here the angle will increase, so that is been considered as an extension. So you can see in the picture the legs, the extending part. In the previous one, the flexion, the leg was behind having a 90 degree, and here it is going backward to the normal position. Again it is being considered an extension. The same way the hands also coming back to the normal position, it becomes an extension. And when the hand is stretched behind, too much behind, that is being considered hyper extension. There is a word hyper extension, that means more than the extension is being considered an hyper extension. So here I hope so that with the help of the picture it is clear that what does the extension means. Then we are having another type of angular movement, that is abduction. Now what is an abduction? Abduction means moving part away from the midline. For example, shoulder raising, the arms up to the side of the body. So abduction, let us see the movement of the abduction. What is the medial midline? So in the picture, with the help of the picture, you can identify there is a line from the center of the body that has been considered midline. See, it has been written as a midline. So here it was been told that moving the part away from the midline, that is lifting up the hand on the sideways, is known as an abduction. You can see here two hands, a light hand, two hand pictures are being shown. And when the hand is moving away from the midline, that is known as an abduction. And when again the hand is coming back towards the midline or towards the body again on the sideward, that is known as an adduction. Clear? So here the word adduction means something adding towards the body again. When we used to again add something towards body or some part of the body, that becomes an adduction on the sideways. But this movement is on the sideways, whereas flexion and extension is forward and backward movement, and here it is having a side movement, that is a lateral movement. So you can see with the help of the picture you can understand. So next we are having, that is adduction. So adduction means what? Opposite of abduction. So moving the part toward the midline, for example, shoulder bringing the arm down to the side of the body. Again shoulder coming from the shoulder, the arm is bringing down again to the side of the body, that becomes an adduction. So you can remind all of these four movements, and you can write down the notes. You can prepare the notes by your own on the basis of this. So this is the angular movement. It is given in your syllabus, so you need to prepare for this. Okay, then let's move for the next movement. We are having the next movement is known as in circumduction. The word circumduction means to rotate on its axis. It's like circumduction is different and rotation is different. So here circumduction is a movement that takes place between the head of the bone and its articulate cavity. So here circumduction is a movement of the body region in a circular manner, in which one end of the body region being moved stay relatively stationary. One end of the body remains stationary. For example, the legs, in the picture you can see the legs is a stationary position. From the waist part it is stationary, while the other end describes a circle, and you can see the upper part used to describe the circle. So it is considered as circumduction. So circumduction, it involves the sequential combination of flexion, abduction, extension and abduction of a joint. So here you can find out that in circumduction all movements are used. So circumduction, you can take the movement of the arm also. When you rotate the arm fully in a circular manner, it is also one of the example of the circumduction. So in circumduction it involves a sequential combination of flexion. So flexion means bending the body forward, then taking away the body sideways, that becomes the adduction. Then again extension position, that is backward position, and again coming back to the position from the side, that is known as an adduction. So here that is a sequential combination of all. So you can see the when the body used to rotate on the circular motion, it is becomes a circumduction. So here you can see that this is a very important point given here, that in which one end of the body region being moved stayed relatively stationary, one of the end of the body relatively stationary, while the other end describes a circle. That is, the legs are stationary, the feet are stationary, that they do not used to move. And here you can find out that the body from the waist part, it used to rotate in all the direction. So this kind of the motion is best seen in the shoulder and hip joints. You can find out these types of movement in the hip joints, that is where we are having ball and socket joints in our shoulder, and in our hip you can find out this types of motion. Now compound circular movements, which involves flexion, extension, abduction and adduction. In circumduction, a part of the part moves in such a way that the end follows a circular path. That end used to follow the circular path. So here example in your textbook, it has been given that moving a finger in a circular motion without moving the hands. Moving the finger in a circular motion, for example, you used to rotate the thumb in a circular motion without you use, and you do not use to move your hand. That means that one end used to be circular, whereas the another end used to be in a motion. Then last part we are having, that is rotation. What does the rotation means? So here rotation is a form of movement in which the bone moves around the central axis without any displacement from its axis. That means here the movement of the bone used to move around the central axis. That means for example, anything which used to rotate on its axis and without the displacement. Displacement means that do not used to move from its axis, it used to move at its place. For example, twisting the head from side to side. So you can see in the picture where the movement is been given on the left side rotation, the left as well as the right side. So it is been considered as rotation. So example is been given, very clear example with the help of the picture. You can see that what does the rotation means. So these are the movements which are been given in your types of movements are there, which are been included in your syllabus. There are other movements are also considered, like hyperextension. Hyperextension, as I have told you, that when you are moving, when we are having extension position and then you are moving more than the extension backward, then it becomes the hyperextension. We are having dorsiflexion, that is bending foot at the ankle towards the chin, that is upward, lifting the feet towards upward. Plantar flexion, bending the foot downwards towards the sole. Then inversion and protraction, retraction, elevation, depression, supination, pronation and eversion. These are the types of different types of movements that are being included in other movements. So just now what we have learned till now, you can prepare the notes on the basis of this. Thank you.